Everyone, Jason Nunn, Fisherman's Warehouse, Tackle Marks Point with the early Friday fishing report, Thursday afternoon, taking advantage of these beautiful blue skies and this flat ocean that's out here at the present moment. Little tiny bit of swell, but look, absolutely superb conditions right the way through now until Monday afternoon. I think we might get a little bit of shift on Tuesday, Wednesday, but ideal. Beautiful tides this weekend. High tide Saturday afternoon, 3 o'clock, Sunday 4 o'clock. Absolutely perfect for fishing these inshore reefs around the island of Southern Bommy, down towards Wyabung, and right the way through Newcastle, Redhead Dudley area, and in particular that Merriweather area. Beautiful afternoon tides for snapper. These westerly winds which we're going to get through Saturday and into Sunday, not going to get too much, in and around that 10, maybe 15 early in the morning, but absolutely perfect. And the water has finally started to get a little bit of colour about it. Some great reports last weekend, a lot of snapper in close. Just came past the cleaning tables there. Young Daniel from Sandy Bottom Charters has just had a charter out on those wider reefs, had a big catch of fish, snapper, kingies, a real mixture of fish. This is what we're seeing on these offshore reefs. The farm, right the way down to Texas, plenty of kings, snapper, perch, a few mowies mixed in with them, but a great variety of fish. The inshore reefs, trevally, snapper of course, a few tailor, and there's been quite a few flathead now coming in from that sort of gravelly area out of Swansea. That 40-metre mark tends to be fishing well for those blue spot flathead. Plenty of variety. There's quite a few birds actually working off that northeast corner of Moon Island as we sit here now. A couple of boats, there's a boat just sitting off the back of the Southern Bommy, and a few boats just screaming down towards Catherine Bay as we picked up. They're going to take advantage of these great conditions. As we made mention last weekend, that water up off Port Macquarie is continually pushed down. Of course, reports of yellowfin are still coming in. North of Port Stephens, guys, it's up around that Sea Rocks Canyons area. Water temperature getting down and around about that 18.8, thereabouts, maybe 18.5 in patches. But the zero line that we all focus on the top of that upwelling, is now starting to push south. Water off the coast here off Swansea, still around about a knot and a half of current on the shelf. So it's only going to be a few weeks before we start to see this mix of fish. And there's fish from around about 25 kilo up to 40. So things are looking good as we get closer to September. On the beaches, there's been a lot of salmon and tailor around. Still a few brim, odd whiting of course. But the rocks this weekend with this swell are baiting away, and on those beautiful afternoon tides, tailor of course, salmon, but a lot of trevally and ludric in particular. As we move into September, that ludric fishing will really hot up on the rocks, but also you'll start to see a lot of rock drummer around, and areas such as Dudley, Redhead of course, in towards Merriweather off the rocks there, and definitely down here Mawson's to Caves, some top spots when you want to get stuck into some of those black drummer. They're a beautiful eating fish and an unbelievably great fighting fish. There were a few boats over in Salts Bay as we came across the bridge. Those salmon are still there. Again, on Saturday morning you've got that low tide that will be about 8. Won't be a problem because the fish have been there of the early morning. Had a couple of anglers go there yesterday morning, getting busted up and half spooled and losing fish. But mixed in with these salmon, quite a few tailor. No really big fish. I'm sure there's bigger fish amongst them, but a lot of the fish in and around that 38 to 42 centimetre mark. Not big, but beautiful table fish. I would think in amongst those salmons there will be definitely some of those 2 to 3 kilo fish, and as we move up towards October you'll start to see a lot of those bigger fish mixed in. Plenty of trevally of course back into the lake. Tailor this week, got a good report from my good mate Lucas Stansfield. There's been some nice tailor working from Coal Point along that edge of Carey Bay where there's been a hell of a lot of bait, but backed up as Toronto, and some really nice fish down around Pulver. These bait schools are really showing up. There was a lot of bait at the back of the sand islands there also. There's some really nice flathead on the bottom, and these flathead, particularly as we get into September, they're going to start to move out of this deep water and they'll start to move back into those shallows. So things are really on the improve. You can see it today, very mild type of day. I think we're starting to get the end of winter into spring with some luck. Now, of course, Father's Day is coming up, the first Sunday in September. We don't want to miss out on looking after our dads. I'm hoping someone's listening for my Father's Day gift. But at the present moment, we've got new stock of the Shimano luggage range. And as a part of Father's Day, every week right up to Father's Day, we're going to do a special. So at the present moment, right through till Father's Day, we've got a great range of this new Shimano luggage. It's 20% off all Shimano luggage. You've got tackle bags, you've got backpacks, you've got lure wraps, smaller bags, and of course something that's pretty relevant with all the kingfish jigging going on down around Terrigal and on Nora Head on the Texas. These jig bags, perfect to keep those saltwater jigs for your kings in good line, and that way easy to get out of your tackle box. Guys, come in and see us down at the Fisherman's Warehouse. We're there all weekend. There's plenty of this luggage on for sale, and like I said, every week on the Friday, or today being Thursday, we'll give you a special running into Father's Day. Let's get out there and take advantage of this blue sky, this perfect ocean this weekend. I'll see you next Friday. Keep those reports coming. The yellowfin are almost here. I'll see you then.